Okay, moving on to the next part of this lecture series. In this part, we're going to discuss cell division. We discussed animal cell, we discussed plant cell, and we gave a little reference of cell division in the structure of animal cell during the process when we were discussing centrosomes, and they have centromeres, which is the central structure, and they have microtubules, which are thread-like structures. Now, cell division is not in much detail given in your book or in your course, so we'll just go superficially through this. But even mitosis or meiosis is not mentioned in your book, but I'm just giving you a brief introduction for both of these so that you may have a better understanding. But we are not going to go into detail of these two topics. So what is cell division? You know it very well. Cell division is very necessary for growth purpose, for reproduction, because as a baby is produced, the infant then grows, he becomes, his body structure changes with the passage of time, then he becomes young, he enters into the teen age, then he further ages, and he crosses 40 years of age, and then he starts, growing old. So all these processes are, so all this phenomena can be explained through cell division. So during the growth of animals, or maybe let's say human beings, cell division plays an important role. And what kind of cell division? I told you mitosis is the one which is responsible for growth, whereas meiosis is this happens during reproduction. Whenever some any organism undergoes reproduction, so this meiosis happens in its reproductive cells. So there are actually different kinds of cells. For example, if we talk about in humans, we have skin cells, we have muscle cells, we have blood cells, RBCs, red blood cells, WBC, white blood cells. Then we have fat cells, we have nerve cells, we have nephrons, kidney cells, we have digestive tract cells, we have liver cells, we have brain cells. So we have different kinds of cells dedicated for different functions or dedicated to different organ systems within our body. So all these undergo different processes, all these undergo cell division. So mitosis happens in all the cells except reproductive, and meiosis is the cell division that happens only in reproductive cells or reproductive organs. What are reproductive cells? In females we have ovules because we have ovaries, whereas in males we have sperms, and they are sperm cells. The sperm cells are ovules altogether called gametes. Gametes, gametes are reproductive cells. So these reproductive cells sperm or this ovules undergo meiosis. Meiosis, let me introduce to you what meiosis is very briefly. Meiosis is the process in which cell divides in such a way that after when the cell division is completed, the number of chromosomes remains the same. Number of chromosomes become halved. For example, in humans we have 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs. So in mitosis, which happens in all the part of our body except reproductive part, in mitosis, when cell division happens, the nucleus separates, nucleus divides into two parts. Centromeres go to the north, one goes to the north, another goes to the south. It forces the chromatin network. Half of the network goes to the north side of the cell, half of the remaining half goes to the south of the cell. And then then chromatins become so visible, they form chromatids. Chromatids happens in sister chromatids. One pack of sister chromatids goes to the north, another pack of sister chromatid goes to the south of the cell, not earth. Okay, I'm talking about cell. During cell division, what process is going on? So chromosomes separate, nucleus vanishes, nuclear membrane vanishes, single cell starts breaking into two cells. So whenever the original cell which is known as parent cell, divides into two cells, these two cells, in such a way that number of chromosomes in the parent cell 46 and number of chromosomes in the two cells, daughter cells. These are called daughter cells. Cells came up after as a result of the cell division mitosis. They are called daughter cells, whether mitosis or whether meiosis. Parent cell divides into daughter cells, two daughter cells. So these two daughter cells each have 46 chromosomes in mitosis, whereas in meiosis the two daughter cells that produce have half of the total number, that is they have 23. Why does this happen? Let me give you just a hint of this of this logic, that why the chromosomes become halved in meiosis. Because during reproduction, half of the chromosomes come from the mother side, half of the chromosomes come from the father side. So 23 chromosomes come from the father side, 23 chromosomes come from the mother side. So altogether they make up 46. So that's why in meiosis chromosomes are halved. In mitosis chromosomes quantity remains the same. So you can refer to this page 13 of your book. It is actually giving you a it, it hasn't mentioned actually what kind of cell division it is, but most probably it is mitosis, because there are no sperms mentioned, there are no ovules mentioned. So this cell division is important only during reproduction, whereas mitosis happens on everyday basis. Cells divide, cells break, new cells build up, cells repair, there is wear and tear in the cells, so mitosis happens. So there are actually different types of cells, as I already gave you. There are skin cells, there are muscle cells, there are sperm cells, there are ovules, there are ovary cells. Similarly, in plants you have different kinds of plant cells, the ones that carries out photosynthesis, and there are other cells like palisade cells. Palisade cells are the cells that are present on the upper surface of a leaf, and they have chloroplast, which contains chlorophyll, green pigment, and actually it helps in photosynthesis so that it can absorb light energy and then generate oxygen and releases energy. Then in plants there are guard cells in the leaves. What are guard cells? They actually guard the pores of the cell, of the leaf. Anything that can goes inside the cell or outside the cell, this is only because of the guard cells present in pairs in the plants, so that they can do the transporting processes. So from cells to organisms, again we'll revise this concept and in detail in later lectures. That's it for today. Thanks for joining.